What's up,
Oh,
y'all?
what
What's
dark?
good? Welcome to the What Up Though Show. It's your boy Dame D, and I am back with another one. Today we're going to be talking about the pregame, the Detroit Lions versus the Washington Commanders pregame talk. I have Big Ken who's going to be joining me on today's panel. What's going on, Big Dog? How you doing today?
I'm good, man.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and reintroduce yourself again.
This is Big Ken from the 313. What up, though?
Okay, there we go. The big one. Today is the day. The Lions is coming off a tough loss. We talked about this a few days ago. We may have a few people that's going to come in and join us, but let's talk about before we get off into today's game. Let's talk about last week matchup against Minnesota that we had, man. It was a horrible. It was a horrible game all the way around, man. Our defense, and I'm not going to say the defense played a bad game, but we were penalty plagued that last game. It was a few questionable calls, far as scheming. We talked about this with Big Mail. You know what I mean? So hopefully we can tighten things up and get back to basics today. So just give me your thoughts and your opinion on that loss last week, man. Because now the NFC Central, we in a tight group amongst a bunch of 5 teams, I should say. So give me your thoughts on that loss that we took last week at home against Minnesota.
That was a devastating loss for us. I wasn't expecting that. I seen a lot of things that I didn't like in that game. Hopefully that they can take care of the things that I seen. Number one, having Jahmyr Gibbs blocking, trying to hold up to guys 230 and 40 pounds, fully muscle coming at him. Couldn't do it. So I seen some gaps in the line. I seen a lot of things that I didn't like. So I'm just hoping that they can work all that out because I hadn't seen that before. I had never seen Goff get rushed like that. So that was different for me.
And I'm not going. You hit it right on the nose. And when we had that talk with me, you, and Big Mayor.
Yeah.
Kind of fucked up the offensive line last week, and those linebackers shooting through those gaps. What it was, man, our offensive coordinator, he had to do the blocking scheming a lot better because, like you said, and like we talked about a few days ago, you had Jahmyr Gibbs out there blocking 6'4", 240-pound linebackers. He got ran over like 3 times. I went back and watched tape on that game after we had that discussion between me, you, and Big Mel. And Jamel was right, man. They had him out there blocking linebackers that he could not block. And why would you have your superstar, your explosive man out there making blocks? You know what I mean? So, that needs to be my other running back out there making those blocks like that. Montgomery. Montgomery can handle. He's like a sledgehammer. So when we're in protection, we do not need to have Jahmyr Gibbs back there because that's what happened. He allowed for those linebackers to slice and dice through there, and it got to Goff, man. And once you get to Goff, he'll have that happy feet begin. But I have audio and video of today's matchup that I'm getting ready to play, and we'll watch that, and then we'll get back to our commentary. So give me 1 second, Big Ken. Load this up.
Washington Commanders hobble into Week 10 for what was supposed to be a huge rematch with Detroit. It won't be the same. More like if Tyson showed up expecting Holyfield and found Glass instead.
Can't stand it. I really can't.
Nothing going right season for Washington takes another awful turn.
Lions, though, just took one to the chin from a little Mac type, so both teams trying to get back up off the mat.
First down would win it. McCarthy throwing it. Nailed it! Oh, he caught it!
Strange to see a defense hold a quarterback to hold the opposing offense to 4 for 12 on 3rd down and still give up 27 points.
And basically what he was
McCarthy looking, throwing, caught!
All the receivers.
Touchdown, Hawkinson!
Meantime, their own offense 24 points with 200 no picks, a 108 rate.
Throwing for Jamison Williams. He's got it! Diving to the end zone is the end!
The problems that they need to fix for this game: 5 for 17 on third down, 1 for 3 in the red zone, lost 44 yards on 5 sacks taken.
3rd and 6. Pressure again. Goff is swallowed up whole.
Goff getting dropped behind the line of scrimmage, a recent problem. 4 sacks taken the week before, too. 4 to 5 taken in 3 of their last 4.
Pressured again and again, and he
See, and if you notice, Big Ken,
goes down.
The Washington pass rush he faces this week comes off a sackless outing. Only hit Sam Darnold once, allowed Seattle 38 points, 7 for 11 on third down. Game was over at halftime, basically.
Darnold 9 of 9 on the night. Takes another shot, and it's caught by Arroyo for the touchdown!
Their secondary gave up 330 yards and 4 TDs to Darnold, a 141 rate.
What a smoking start to this game by Sam Darnold.
They lost corner Marshawn Lattimore for the year, gave up 2 TDs to Torrey Horton, 48 yards, a 60-yard TD to Cody White, 129 yards to Jackson Smith and Jigba, and now here comes Amon-Ra St. Brown, 97 yards versus Minnesota.
Over the middle he goes. There's Amon-Ra St. Brown. So reliable on third down.
Sam Laporta also checked out with 97 yards last week, scored, giving him a TD in 3 of his last 4.
Laporta still on his feet and dragging Vikings all the way to the end zone. He is in. Touchdown.
Detroit's rush duo comes in cold, though. Montgomery 40 yards, 3.6 a run. Jahmyr Gibbs 25 yards, 2.8 per. Washington defense did leave Seattle's count, and Zach Charbonnet, tough, held Seattle to 3.7 on a try on the ground.
Pitch Charbonnet trying to get to the edge, and Washington won't let him do that.
Toking the rock wasn't a problem for Washington's offense. Pretty much everything else was in their loss to Seattle. Jaden Daniels, 72 rate, no TDs, 1 pick, just 153 yards. Offense only 14.
Some trouble here. Wrapped in, brought down.
It's Lions defense that held J.J. McCarthy to 143 yards, a low 80s rate, just 5.7 yards per attempt, picked him off.
McCarthy zips it over the middle. I think it's picked.
They're holding quarterbacks to a sub 90 rate for the season, have the second most.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Was everything coming in too clear for you, Big Ken?
Yeah. I can hear and see everything.
Okay.
Sacks with 28, took McCarthy down 5 times, just 25 pass attempts, hit him 9 times.
McCarthy flips over, taken down. He had pressure up the middle and off the side.
Aiden Hutchinson with his 7th sack of the year. Jack Campbell had 1 and was also reminded that Sarcastaball rules still apply.
Very difficult, very technical, and I think the challenge I don't like about it is
I just want to show a little bit of last week's matchup, and I'm going in to stop this. But yeah, man, pretty much you got a feel, Big Ken, of what we're going to be facing today. We're going to be facing a Washington Commander team that's going to be without a few key players. Their quarterback. Give me your thoughts on that, man, and how the defense should be able to go in and dominate this game without their superstar starting quarterback, I should say.
I'm gonna say this: they should be food for the Lions. Jaden Daniels ain't there, even though the other quarterback, he decent. He's not Jaden Daniels, so I think the Lions should go in there and handle their bit. I got the Lions winning by 14.
Yeah, and most of the
I got the Lions winning by 14. I think that we're gonna go in there and take care of our business.
Yeah, most people got the Lions winning today's game by double digits. We should be able to go in there. It's going to be, a Detroit takeover. It's pretty much going to be like a home game. I got my sister and her husband. They're going to be down there. It's going to be a lot of Detroit fans down there. So the players should feel like they're at home. It's going to be a great game. Hopefully we'll be able to feast this weekend. It'll be an early Thanksgiving.
No doubt.
Yep. So, so what are your thoughts on today's game? What do we need to, how do you think we're going to start off this game? My thing is we should start off running the ball. That way, it'll start running the ball, start running some play actions. Therefore, it'll be able to open up the ball downfield to J-Mo. We got to start getting a lot more explosive plays, man. This year we haven't had that many explosive plays. So give me your thought on that. How should we approach today's game offensively, Big Ken? Let me make sure
We got to run it down their throat. I agree with you 1,000%. We got to run it down their throat. We got to get the ball to J-Mo. We got to put an impression on the rest of the league that we here and we for real. That's it.
Facts.
We got all the tools we need to get the job done. I believe we got the #1 offense in the league. But I mean, I don't need Jared Goff getting happy feet out there. We got to make sure he gets some blocking, and we got to stop making foolish mistakes like having Jahmyr Gibbs block, he getting ran over and causing us the game, and penalties. Let me say this: we can't have no penalties like we had the last game. We got to go in there and be the Lions that we can be, not the Cubs. We need to be the Lions. So I believe that we're going to go in there and handle our business. And everybody that came from Detroit, we're going to go down there and show up and show out. Let's go Lions. You froze? You look like you might have froze on me. Yeah, we're going to go down there and handle our business and come on back and get ready for this next team. But the Lions got a rough schedule. Everybody know that. So we got to get ready for that. Let's go. We must got a little technical difficulty going on right here, but it's all good. I will have my Lions gear on for the game.